Good morning, Gospel Life Church. This is Justin Santoro with your weekly devotional, coming to you November 11th, the week after the election. This has, needless to say, been a very interesting time, a kind of hectic time and crazy time. There's continued social unrest, and there is unrest with who the president is going to be, and allegations of now a fraudulent election, which shouldn't surprise us when you look at other countries around the world. Fraudulent elections are somewhat commonplace, so we shouldn't be too surprised that the human condition has fallen, and people are going to do things that are corrupt, because we are completely corrupt to our very core. So I'm bringing you the devotional today, and it is going to be coming from Psalm 47. I had plans to do something else, but then a couple days ago I listened to Andy's devotional from last week, which was on Psalm 46, and so I continued reading in Psalm 47 and thought this was a fitting chapter, an encouraging chapter, in light of what's going on and the uncertainty with the elections and all the things that we're hearing in the news and whatnot. So we're going to read through that here real quickly and take away a couple of truths that hopefully encourage us for this week and through this election season, however long it lasts. So Psalm 47 says, "Clap your hands, all peoples. Shout to God with loud songs of joy. For the Lord the Most High is to be feared, a great king over all the earth. He subdued peoples under us and nations under our feet. He chose our heritage for us, the pride of Jacob, whom he loves. God has gone up with a shout, the Lord with the sound of a trumpet. Sing praises to God, sing praises. Sing praises to our King, sing praises. For God is the King of all the earth. Sing praises with a psalm. God reigns over the nations. God sits on his holy throne. For the princes of the peoples gather as the peoples of the God of Abraham. For the shields of the earth belong to God. He is highly exalted." If you notice in this psalm, it says repeatedly things about shouting to the Lord with joy and singing praises and singing psalms to him. And it's typically right around where it talks about God's character and who he is as king over all the earth. The very first verse is, "Clap your hands, all peoples. Shout to God with loud songs of joy." Why? And he gives us the answer right here. For the Lord the Most High is to be feared, a great king over all the earth. So, though he's to be feared, we're to shout with joy to the Lord. Last week, in Andy's devotional, he talked about how we aren't to fear the things of earth and the uncertainties that might come to pass. So in verse 1 of Psalm 46, it says, "God is our refuge and strength, a present help in trouble." Verse 2, "Therefore we will not fear though the earth gives way." And Andy had mentioned last week, even if the worst thing that we could possibly imagine happens, we still shouldn't fear, because God is the one who we know is in control. God is the king over all the earth. He is the king, and he is above all the other rulers of the earth. And though it might seem cliche, and it's not an abdicate, it's not a reason to abdicate any sort of desire or to be involved in politics or to discuss it, but I think it should affect the way that we do discuss it, and realizing that no matter who gets in, we're not supposed to fear this party or that party, because ultimately God is in control, and we are to fear him. Dave says over and over again, what you fear controls you. So we shouldn't be afraid of one party versus another, one president versus another, because ultimately God is in control and working all things out for the glory of his name, even though we might not be able to see. So, one, we are to fear the Lord, not earthly kings and rulers. 2, we are to rejoice and praise the Lord because of that reality. It says, it talks about in this psalm who God is. God is king. God reigns over the nations. God sits on his holy throne. So it tells us who God is. It tells us who he is in relation to everybody else. He is so much higher, and he is far above everybody else. So hopefully this can encourage us a little bit in these crazy times, and hopefully we don't get too caught up in what is going on and letting it affect our emotions and how we treat other people and how we respond to people on Facebook and all the social media outlets, and realizing, hey, let's thank the Lord that these people are not truly ruling over us, and these aren't truly the people we serve, though we are to respect them and obey them so far as it aligns with the scriptures and not causing us to sin. But we are to ultimately serve God, fear God, rejoice in God that he is a king over everybody. So have a great week and be encouraged.